Everyday superpower, we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Understand the power of colour and colours, right? Understand how you've become accustomed to associating particular colours with particular feelings and references and worldly properties, right? I passed a shop in a shopping centre. A big corporate Goliath of a clothing company. And the only display within the window, it didn't showcase clothing, it didn't showcase branding and advertisement or anything of the like. It was quite simply the biggest box, glaring red, sale. That was it. I mean, if you go into your city centre and walk past shops, they will all have red signs within that window saying sale. All of them. With a white font. Of course there's a sale. They sell products. There's always a sale. That's the point. Or if you were to go in there and say, where is the sale? They'll lead you to a rack of clothing they've been left over with, and you know, whatever ploy they have, you're in the store. Sale, and it's always red. Stops you in your tracks. Where else do we see red manifest? Outside of branding and advertisement, we see it manifest in fire, okay? So this is how the game of colour is rooted within us. We associate it with particular qualities that link into our evolutionary processes. Don't get me wrong, we may have had some sort of societal engineering to perceive specific colours in a certain way. But there is an underlying reaction to our brains when we perceive specific colours, and we must understand this. If we have a business of our own, we must understand it. What do you think red signifies? It signifies power. It does signify fire, and fire is to be respected. It's regal in a sense. Aggression, most definite. Did you know if you are to wear a red suit, a red t-shirt, red jewellery, you will create a emotional reaction in the person you are engaging with tenfold what you normally would. So if you are an attractive person, let's say the woman in red, right? A cliche, but it holds weight as far as what we're discussing. It's symbolic of the woman in ovulation. What happens when the woman is aroused? Blood flushes to the erogenous zones, flushing them red. Have you seen the knock-on? The colour red, it fascinated me. I've been doing a fair bit of reading about Carl Jung. I've always been fascinated with Freud, and in being so, it's taken me a while to get into Carl Jung. I've known his, a foundation of his primary concepts and their application in the world we live in. I mean, a lot of our vocabulary in the psychological sense are terms that come from Jungian school of thought, such as the archetypes, the introverts, and the collective unconscious, and so forth. And He was fascinated in mandalas, right? We're not going to talk about the mandala in the symbolic sense, but I'm going to say that to say this. As of recent, I came across some colouring pencils and an adult, it's marketing, isn't it? An adult colouring book, geometric colouring book. And having some spare time. And I would recommend this because this was eye-opening to me. I had a collection of like 30 different coloured pencils and this barren geometric page of fantastic shapes and, like I discussed, mandala creations, outlines. And I started colouring in. And with each and every pencil I chose and applied colour into this triangle or circle or shape of whichever extent, I saw the colour, and just by association I found a deeper understanding of the colour. Not one that if I would have seen it in my day-to-day I would see it as such without going into it on like a purely conscious and concentrated level, but with my application and with the silence I experienced as I just focused and allowed myself to enjoy the experience, my mind went to the association of this colour. A natural green, a flamboyant pink, a scalding red. And not only did I create association in applying this colour, I found relations between that and the colour it was placed beside. This regal golden yellow, which had its parallel with urine. Next door to this natural, organic tone of green. I could start to develop associations between and find the middle ground and understand the psychological effect and correlation of colour more so than I ever had. I was with a good friend recently and I spoke to him about the sale sign, and as we were walking in the street we applied it tenfold. You look to the streets and you see "Give way," a sign that serves the same purpose to catch your attention because we have the red and we have the white. As you look aside from there, you see the traffic light and what stop? The command, the order, it's in a gleaming bright red. It's all by design. It's a multi-billionaire corporation. It's all by design. Nothing is left by chance. There's a particular purpose why they have marketed and branded themselves with specific colours that goes outside of the conscious awareness of your general populace, but they all feel some degree of affinity with the colour coding that's been put before them because it connects to what once was. That's some food for thought. I found it very powerful, the colouring experience, as they call it therapeutic. And it is in the sense that you rid yourself of outside noise for a moment. It essentially places you in a trance. It's a hypnotic experience. But it's absolutely fantastic for perceiving the power and the influence of colour, because you see it as you apply it. And you see it in relation to other colours, not in the sense that you think two colours go together nicely, or whichever else. But you see it as you apply it, and in that moment you become godlike as you create emotion, as you create a power of association, like you were a great poet. You communicate with what you place on there, and it was an absolutely fantastic experience. With that being said, I'm uploading every day, so click like and subscribe. 2 links down in the description of the video. One will take you to my catalogue of body language where you can learn to read minds, alright? It's a YouTube playlist free of charge, how to read people through their non-verbal behaviour. Second to that is the Patreon, where you'll join me in watching real life first dates. I'll show you attraction body language, repulsion body language. You'll see it manifest in the world around you, no matter where you are, okay? And on that note, I'm signing out. Peace.